Tony Romo ticking time bomb facing CBS. Insider reveals star's battle to keep his $18m-a-year job after arrest, and why it has plunged network into chaos ahead of NFL season. Tony Romo's television career is hanging in the balance as CBS executives mull over what to do next with their $18 million-a-year broadcast superstar. Romo is at home in Dallas in the wake of his OWI arrest, trying to deal with the fallout and embarrassment of his brush with the law, release of police bodycam footage, and subsequent decision from his employers to place him on leave. The former Dallas Cowboys quarterback's world was turned upside down last week when he was pulled over by cops in Milwaukee after a day on the golf course, before he went on to fail multiple sobriety tests despite telling cops he'd had 0 drinks. With CBS still due to pay him an eyewatering $72 million over the next 4 years of his current contract, there is now much debate over whether he should return to the airwaves before the start of the NFL season.
Looking for a premium phone without the premium price? This renewed, unlocked iPhone 14 offers 128 gigabytes of storage, a sharp 6.1-inch display, and 5G capability for around $299. Want to get the best verified deal and see full details? Visit grabdeal.us/6 right now.
According to The Athletic's Andrew Marchand, Romo is facing an uphill battle to get his job back, and will need to make quite a case to convince the likes of President and CEO David Berson that he's still their man. A source close to CBS, meanwhile, has lifted the lid on the network's plans to the Daily Mail, revealing what elements they are weighing up before making a final decision on Romo's future. Tony Romo, who earns $18m a year with CBS, has been placed on leave by the TV network. CBS executives are weighing their next move after Romo's police bodycam footage came out. It's a bit of a rock-and-a-hard-place situation with Tony right now, the source explains. So many people at the network genuinely like him, and the initial belief was that he could work through the legal process, resolve everything in court, and return for the season with the controversy eventually fading into the background. However, the release of the bodycam footage changed the conversation and renewed calls for Tony to face some form of punishment. The fact that he remained respectful and cooperative throughout the interaction certainly works in his favor, but it also put CBS in a difficult position. In particular, the source explains, network execs are weighing up the precedent that it would set to other on-screen staff if they were let Romo continue without punishment in the wake of his OWI arrest. There is a hesitancy, it seems, to put out the message that the top talent is untouchable. If another on-air personality were to find themselves in a similar situation, they would need to show they apply the same standards across the board and aren't giving preferential treatment, the source adds. CEO David Berson, center, on CBS NFL Today, has a big decision to make over Romo's future. Romo pictured with his wife Candace, a former Miss Missouri. For now, the plan is to let the legal process play out and give Tony a few weeks to deal with everything on that front. After that, the expectation is that he'll address the situation publicly, apologize, and begin moving forward with his career. Whether that career is with CBS or even on national TV remains to be seen. For now, J.J. Watt will fill Romo's shoes alongside Jim Nantz in the No 1 NFL partnership. Romo is due in court on September 21, which is already 2 weeks into the NFL season, and execs will need to decide whether they allow the ex-Cowboys star back on air before then. It would, of course, be a huge source of embarrassment if he returns to the role and is then back in the headlines for all the wrong reasons just days later. According to The Athletic, Romo had 3 important dates in his CBS calendar over the coming weeks, starting with the annual CBS preseason media seminar. That would have involved an open session with reporters and some unwanted questions, but it now appears Romo will be kept far away from that. Beyond that date, he would have been in the booth with Nantz for the Week 1 Vikings-Packers game, and then would have been on a plane to Brazil in Week 3 for the Cowboys-Ravens International Showdown. If CBS opt not to release him entirely, the decision could be made to demote him to the B or C team to allow Watt to permanently take his place. J.J. Watt will replace Romo alongside Jim Nantz in CBS No-1 partnership until further notice. Romo smirked in his mugshot after being arrested for OWI in Milwaukee following a golf event. That could risk internal issues with other on-air talent. Does Nantz go with him to continue their on-screen bond? If so, that would perhaps unfairly punish their no-1 play caller for Romo's mistake. If not, then no-2 play caller Ian Eagle's bond with Watt is broken, and he is lumped with Romo and the task of building up a new on-air relationship. Time is, of course, the main issue with CBS' big decision, as the NFL season hurtles closer with teams already back in training camps. Each broadcaster will be beginning their prep work for the early games of the NFL season and will need to know where they are headed in weeks 1 and 2. The Daily Mail has reached out to Romo and CBS for comment.